Welcome to the first episode of Copper and Ink. Recently I was doing some shopping for a new notebook and I came across a sample pack of pocket-sized notebooks. It was on Goulet pens. And when I looked at this, it made me think back on some of my history. I was a printing press operator for almost 10 years. Worked with many different kinds of paper, exploring the different qualities and learning how to optimize the printing press for those. As I've gone about my time with a journal in its various forms, I've experimented with many different writing instruments, many different inks in my fountain pens, and I've gradually went from looking at the beginner entry-level things to getting some more advanced or maybe intermediate level pens in the space. And it's really been nice to try these different ones to see which ones, as a left-handed individual, really fit my writing style the best and would leave a minimal smearing but still have a pleasurable writing experience. So I tried these. I've tried various things. I recently bought a Lamy Kuru Toga mechanical pencil, and this is a pleasure to write with. Really nice, and of course minimal to no smearing with this one. Definitely no ink smearing. But it got me thinking about all these different writing instruments that I've tried, and then there's a sample pack of all these different papers that I haven't tried before. And I didn't see a lot of information out there for a left-handed individual who uses these instruments on a daily basis as part of their work. I didn't see a lot of reviews like that. And then when I went to a store in Seattle, a beautiful stationery store, we'll let the name speak for itself there, and I walked through their stationery section and I saw not just these writing samples here that I got from an alternate source, but I saw so many different brands that I hadn't seen before. I got them in some different sizes, some different types of paper, and it really made me think back to that time as a printing press operator with how much paper impacted writing. And for my notebooks, I've typically gone with Leuchtturm 1917s or some Moleskines, and have really enjoyed those. But there's so much other paper out there that may be better for my writing as a left-handed individual that I really wanted to explore that. And as there was not much information out there, why not make my own YouTube video, maybe a whole channel, as we're looking at here, Copper and Ink, looking into one of my favorite pens, and then of course the ink for the writing. Bring you along for the journey with me. Maybe you can share some things that have worked for you. I can share some things that we learn. I'd kind of like to use one of these field note logbooks to go through and try the different papers, be able to compare them to each other, find some different rate scoring systems, things that we'd like to try for the different types, kind of use the 5-star rating system that has in there and go through them. This gives us room for 26. I don't know if we'll have 26 different types of paper, but we'll have inks, we'll have paper, we'll have different writing tools, and to really share this with others and talk about it, see the comments, seems like it would be a fun thing to try. I've watched countless YouTube videos, read articles, and have enjoyed trying to discover new colors, new makes. Pilot has been one of my favorite brands, as has Diamine. I've enjoyed some of their various colors. But there's a world out there that we haven't explored, and thought of maybe doing that together through this YouTube channel is appealing to me. Over the years, I found that there were many problems with the pens I was given at work. Pens were usually low quality, disposable. The selection was made by somebody else. usually based on price. And they picked maybe their favorite pen. When I was signing off on work documents using a cheap disposable pen, it just didn't feel like it had much meaning to it. But as my responsibilities and work have grown, I realized that your signature means something. It has value. And so having a writing instrument that conveys that was enjoyable. And that's where this first pen came in here. This copper pen, again, the weight on it is so much heavier than most any of these other writing instruments I've used, especially when you compare it to like a plastic Pilot G2. You know, these were one of the pens that they're super popular and they work for a lot of people. But in that 0.7 nib that or ballpoint that so many people like, when I would write, it would just turn into a solid smear. It didn't work well for a left-handed individual. So that's the other problem. They were left-handed friendliness. That's a quality that's missing from many of the disposable type pens. But when you have a pen that you carry around that's in your pocket, it's with you all the time, it's a beautiful thing and it brings you joy. So going with a pen like that, I have enjoyed fountain pens. This is one of the ones I like a lot that I've picked up, a TWSBI, a 580 ALR in this teal color. And when I realized I could pick a color of a pen, pick an ink color and change it as I saw fit with the myriad of choices of inks out there, I started finding joy in my discoveries. And if you can have joy in your writing, it makes things so much more fun. So much more enjoyable to pull out a notebook to take notes of a work meeting or of a work project, knowing that as you're writing, it maybe brings a little smile to your face or just gives you a little bit of feeling that it matters. Simple things like a weighted pen or a pen that feels good in the hand that writes well gives you some interesting characteristics in your ink. And that's probably one of the things I like best about fountain pens is get some variation in the color. I know with wider nibs, maybe that's even more exaggerated, but with being left-handed, extra fine points have been where I have focused. They dry fastest, so trying to find the pen with an ink combination that's going to do that has been something I've been trying to do for some time, and I'd like to share that quest with you. So what we plan to cover in this channel is reviews on pens, reviews on covers. I have this pop-off leather, I have some Lockbee products, and there's so many more out there that I haven't experimented with. Seeing how they fit a unique writing style, how they fit into the life that I lead. I have a very hectic lifestyle. I'm a husband, a father, a tradesman. I've been an electrician for going on 20 plus years. I'm currently a fieldwork supervisor. I supervise a work crew, ensure that our work is performed to the proper standards, and I have to sign off on this paperwork. So I have time in the field, time in the office. I want something that matches that, the import of what I do is for work, both as someone who wants to feel good about what they're doing and just have products that last. In addition to being a fieldwork supervisor, I also run a small business, work with 3D printing using a little laser cutting, see how we can use that to supplement and complement the offerings that we have and maybe add a little more customization to things. But really seeing these problems with writing instruments and finding and discovering things that bring us joy and being able to use those throughout our busy lives. I know you are busy in the things that you have going on. So let's go on this adventure together. Let's see what we can discover in planning covers, notebooks, and then trying these pens and paper combinations out, working through these and trying to find a standardized way of doing it with a point of view of what works well for a left-handed writer. Because what works and dries fast enough for a right-handed individual based on a pen, paper, ink combination is going to be drastically different for someone that's left-handed. And it matters if you are an overhand writer, side writer, underhand writer. If you twist your notebook and the writing surface drastically while you're writing, all of these characteristics can shape our interactions with our writing implements, with our planner. So what combinations can we find that will be enjoyable? Do we have the ability to find a perfect combination, as it were, something that will make our everyday carry that much more satisfying and useful to us? That's the goal here. If you'd like to come along for the journey, please like and subscribe. This is our first video. Let's see how it goes from here. This is Copper and Ink signing off.
Oh, Mimi had only one time. Stop me to it. This one? No. Only one time. And you already said that